Welcome back to another episode of Generation Red, the kettle corn of Husker Fan Podcast, where we try to be sweet, but at times we get salty. I am one of your hosts, Ken.
And hey, folks, it is Scott.
It is Coach B.A.
And we should be joined by Justin in a few minutes here, but while we're waiting for Justin to pop in, just so you know, to be able to follow this podcast, you can follow us on Facebook, X, and YouTube at GenRedPod. Or if you prefer your podcast in audio form, go to subscribe to Generation Red on Apple, Google, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. Our website is genredpod.com. Email is genredpod@gmail.com. And our merchandise for Generation Red is now available. Just scan the QR code up above there, and that'll send you directly to the merch page. Or you can go to genredpod.com and click on the link at the top of the page. We also want your opinion during the show today. We're going to talk about Michigan State, what happened, the good, the bad, and the windy, so to speak. And then after that, we are going to take a look forward at the Maryland game and see what we think Nebraska's chances are of coming into Minneapolis next week with a 5-1 record. So sound off in live chat, or if you're watching this show on demand later, we'd love to hear your opinion down in the comments down below. Make sure you leave a like and a subscribe. And if you're listening to the audio version of this show, please do us a favor. Take a couple minutes and give us a rating and a review. It helps other folks find the show. Guys, we're 4-1. We're 4-1. I think last year at this time we were 3-2. Or no, were we 4? Was
what were we last year?
After Illinois last year? Wasn't it Purdue? Did we?
Yeah, I feel like we did.
Brain. Let's find out. I'm pulling it up right at this
Oh,
second.
good call.
Oh no, we were 5-1, or we were 4-1 at this point.
I was gonna say because I feel like we got to 5-1. I could just be making that shit up though.
Yeah, we were 5-1 until we went to Indiana.
I think you're right. I think we were 5-5 going into the Wisconsin game, and then we won that, got bowl eligible, and then ended up 6-6. So you're probably right, guys. I just don't remember if we actually made it to that 4-1 mark last year.
Right.
But I think if I were to surmise Saturday's game, it would be this. Games that go like that for Nebraska over the last 10 years, I would say more than likely end up in a loss. If you take the blueprint from this game and you transpose it back to 2023 with the 2023 roster, Nebraska loses that game by multiple scores, in my opinion. Just the way the game flow was, the way things go, and the way the mentality of the team back in 2023 was, I'd say that that's how it would go. You transport that game on Saturday back to 2024 with that roster, and that's probably a way that Nebraska figures out how to lose a game by one score like they were really good at doing last year. So I take this as a step forward. There's a lot of Husker fans that are wringing their hands about the offensive line and defensive line, which we can certainly talk about, though I thought the D-line really stepped up a lot on Saturday. And a lot of people are wringing their head, God, it just didn't look at this, and Dylan was this, and offensive line was that. And I'm like, we just won a 2-score game that last year we were going into the fourth quarter tied. And last year we probably lose that by 3 to 7 points, and we won it by 11. And they gave them a garbage touchdown because we decided to play prevent defense at the end instead of actually continuing to go after that very inexperienced quarterback they threw into the game. Like they say, the prevent defense is good for one thing, preventing you from winning. So, and it just drove me nuts. I'm like, why did we have to give up cheap 7 points like that at the end, or 6 points like that at the end of the game? And also, by the way, giving up our longest touchdown completion of the season to a backup quarterback whose name I'm not going to even attempt to because English has never been my strong suit, much less whatever the heck nationality that name is. I think Czech. But anyway, that's my overall consensus on the game was you don't win this game last year. You probably lose this game by 2 scores 2 years ago, and you're probably not even in the game if the coach who shall not be named was on the sideline. So, and I know that's revisionist history, Justin, but that's where I sit watching the game. This was a different team, different attitude, different culture. I think this was, as some people have said, definitely a culture win. So I'll leave it to you guys. Go ahead to get your overall thoughts. What you just kind of from a gut level, what did you see on Saturday that you were pleased with, and your overall impression on the game?
Yeah, for me, it was definitely that I had that sinking feeling when they were up 21-14, and it felt like the same story just playing over again. I'm like, are we serious right now? Is this what we're doing? Like we go up 14-0 and then we get 21 unanswered points put up against us, and it looks like we can't do anything right. And granted, there was a lot of things that did not go our way that led up to that 21-14 score. And, there was just a few little things that like, man, if this just went this way or this went that way. But nevertheless, I did not expect us to then put up, whatever the math is, putting up 38 points total before Michigan ever saw the end zone again. Like you were saying, Dad, this was one of those games that in the past, and I know we've probably said stuff like this before, but this truly is a game that we lose in the past. Other games, yeah, I could, see it and whatnot, but everything was going against us. The momentum was in Michigan State's side of the field. They had a lot of good things going for them, but then we decided to lock in, dig our knuckles into the turf, and make something. And I haven't seen this team do that in years, in the way that they did it. They found a way to win. Was it pretty? No. Was it perfect? No. Was it anything I imagined it would look like? No. I couldn't even believe it. My emotional roller coaster I was on, I couldn't even appreciate what I was watching till the end, when I was able to replay it in my mind and was like, holy cow, we just snatched victory out of the jaws of defeat. When have we done that? I mean, I'm sure you guys could probably point out other games in the past where we've done something similar to that. But from an emotional standpoint, subjectively to my emotions, how I felt sitting in that chair watching that game, I have never felt such a whiplash of relief in years. So that's my gut level reaction to the game. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong?
No, I'd say this is a game that I appreciated a lot more on the rewatch of the game than I did the original first watch. You know what I mean? It
In the
took,
moment.
hey, I know at least Kenneth Scott, you guys saw my little Facebook post after we went up 14-0. I got pretty excited.
Oh, dude, that was
I was feeling
great.
Husker football a little bit, and then we give up 21 unanswered points, and I'm like, oh, shit, I might have jinxed it.
Well,
I almost look like an idiot, but I don't know. Like I said, this is a game that when I went back and rewatched it, I could appreciate a lot more. Now, I will say, like, there are still some things that concern me, and I think here's what I figured out with the, I think, concern level about, like, from the game is I think if you thought this team was going to be, like, fighting for a playoff spot, I think you're probably a lot more disappointed than if you were someone that was predicting 7 or 8 wins. You know what I mean? Because, I don't know, I don't think our offensive line played very well, which is frustrating, just considering how long. I feel like I just feel like the development's not there. But hey, that can be another conversation for a later time. Because I think we all know where that train's heading. There's been a lot of heat on that position coach right now. Interesting conversation there. But I'll say, like, overall, I felt happy with the game. I think, like you said, this is definitely a culture win. This was a huge culture thing, and that's huge for Nebraska because it's never been okay. I don't want to say never. For the last however many years, I don't think as bad as we've been hasn't had anything to do with I don't think like when we win 4 games, it's because we're a 4-win talent team. It's been the culture. You know what I mean? So I think that was a big step forward to, I think maybe this means that we can actually win the same number of games as what our talent says we should win. Our culture is not going to hold us back and cost us 2 or 3 games. So that was some steps in the right direction. Obviously, there were some concerning things. I do think our defensive line played, pretty well. I will say that like 4-yard QB sneak that doesn't get touched, like on the rewatch, that still pissed me off. I don't understand how that happens. As a high school coach that's a QB sneak enthusiast, like I just don't know how the hell that happens. But hey, it is what it is. Overall, it's hard. I can't be too mad about a big win, a 2-score win. I can't complain too much about that. So, Justin, I'll let you take this one away.
Yeah. So, all right. On my show, I'll break this down similar to how I did on my show, because stepping away from the game after it ended, and then, we talked about a stat on my show where in reference to the offensive line. And it was a stat that showed that Nebraska's 11th, y'all might have seen it on X, 11th in time to pressure, right? And so I looked at, what does that mean? And basically it's a measure of your offensive line and how much time your quarterback has, right? Now, that is a nuanced conversation. That does not mean we have a top 11 line in college football. Mm-hmm. But I think what it does lead to, and here's my thing on it, because I left that game Saturday upset, and there are a lot of things that still upset me about that game, and it's not because we got to win. I think too often Husker Twitter especially gets into this game of no nuance. It's black and it's white, and there's no nuance to be had. Nothing allowed. If we win, you can't say anything. Yeah. Anything remotely critiquing this team. If we win, we have to be like, well, we found a way. That's not how analysis goes, right? But at the same time, stepping back away from that a little bit, right? I can admit to an extent that there are parts of this offensive line that are better than I think I really stepped away thinking after that game, because naturally I don't try to take myself too seriously. I'm a fan that does podcasts, right? I said this on my show. I'm a fan that does podcasts. I'm not an analyst. I don't like to call myself an analyst. I don't like, this is something I do for fun. It's a passion project. I love covering college football, right? There's emotion at the end of the day. And I feel like with the offensive line right now, it's a situation of when it rains, it pours. And we had a mounting emotional frustration that ultimately culminated in our offensive line having one of the worst possessions I think I've probably seen in a long time from an offensive line. And so that just sticking in my head kind of took away the good that did ultimately kind of happen over the course of the game. So I can admit that the truth is probably somewhere in the middle there. While I do think the offensive line is okay, and people throwing PFF grades out there. Now, understand PFF grades are an individual number, right? That doesn't tell the units, progress. Yeah. That's an individual number that shows win rate. How often are they winning their blocks? Are they winning successfully and allowing a positive play, or are they allowing negative plays, or are they losing, those type of things. So when I take a step back and look at that, I will say I was a little too hard on the offensive line, but again, I think that culminated in a little bit of a emotional swing. And now that I can step back and say, I'm going to admit that there was a slight truth to what I was saying. I still think the offensive line, but I do think in a little bit of terms that we can ask for more from Dylan Raiola in that sense. Because I was talking about this on my show, when I'm watching Julian Sain's making really quick decisions, and I know it's a different system. He's got better weapons and all that stuff, but some of those decisions that he's making, and they're just snap. And it's like, sometimes I'm not seeing that same consistency in terms of quick decision-making and making the throw and the timing and the anticipation. And so I think Raiola did excellent things, great things. The offensive line did really, really good things. I just think in the middle part of that game, I want to see more consistency through quarters 2 and 3, because this was a really bad defensive team we went against and a horrible defensive line, right? So I don't want to get a little too high off of this and say, because we did face a tough Michigan defensive line and it was not pretty, right? So at the same time, there's a lot to be had of this offensive line. But at the same time, I think what I'm asking for from this team, we found a way to win, and I love that. That's beautiful. I love that. I want to see us put it together for 4 quarters against a conference opponent, and that way I feel so much better going into games like a Minnesota, a Penn State, where they're not going to beat themselves. Maryland in this previous game against Washington didn't start forcing a bunch of turnovers. They just consistently continued to do. They made adjustments over time, right? They didn't have to make any crazy big plays. It was just in their execution over time. They just continued to do what they did in their process. And right, so if we can just consistently execute over 4 quarters from Maryland, we should win that game running away. Our strengths measure up well against their strengths. Our defensive backs are our strength. Their passing offense is our strength. That lines up really well for us. We're a more complete team than them. And I'll save that a little bit of that for my breakdown. But with the Nebraska team overall, I just think that's what I want to see. 4 consistent quarters of offense, not, we play well early, we play well late against an average Michigan State team. We can call them average. I want to see it for 4 quarters to be confident in where I'm at with, 9-win prediction in this team. And I think that's fair. I think that's a fair assessment of what we saw Saturday.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, brother.
Yeah, do you guys think that in the moment as Raiola's going through his progressions and he's trying to make those quick and timely decisions, I do suspect that a lot of his indecisiveness probably had to do a little bit with the wind, that there's just even a slight hesitation of like, here's a receiver I could normally sling the ball perfectly.
But I want him making the throws. I want him confident in those throws in year 2. Like, I want him firing those balls. I want him taking those chances in year 2.
Yes.
Because that's what you see teams at the top do. And sometimes I feel like he might put too much. I think sometimes he just puts a lot of pressure on himself, and rightfully so. I mean, I could not imagine the pressure cooker that he is in a day-to-day basis, being Dylan Raiola and having all the comparisons to Mahomes and Nebraska, year 3, Matt Rule. Like, you're the guy, dude, like, to bring Nebraska back. Like, I don't think we can put that lightly. Like, I was thinking about when I was at the Colorado game last year, I'm like, Dylan Raiola is a young, like 18-year-old kid. I was nervous and couldn't sleep the night before that game. I'm like, this is an 18-year-old kid that's got to go into this game and perform tomorrow. That, to me, put in perspective. I'm going to watch, dude. And, like, I was nervous, right? So it's no knock on him. I just think I want him to just play a little more loose and a little bit more free.
Yeah, that'll come with time.
Yeah.
I think what he needs is he needs a baller game where he just goes out and just
against a good team, not
against like a good team. Yes. Like, if he were to go out against Maryland and drop almost 40 points on them, and they have no contest against our defense, that gives that dude some swagger that I don't think he's had yet this season.
Correct.
Because he got by with Cincinnati, almost pulled away with a win against Michigan, and has basically got his butt cheeks knocked to the turf for the last 3 big games that we've played. So yeah, he just needs to go out and just have one of those games that just boosts his confidence going into like a Minnesota or something like that. And he's going to need it for Minnesota. But yeah, I do just wonder though, that with the wind and everything, psychologically, he was just having a bad time, especially when you had that series when it was 4th and 42, like that probably took a little bit of he had to dig deep dig himself out of that one.
The game turned after I tweeted, I've got nothing good to say, so I'll see you on the post game. The game turned around after that.
Yeah, you need to do that more often.
I don't know what happened.
I saw that tweet. You said, I got nothing good to say. I think I might go do whatever it was.
I said I'll see you on the post game, because me tweeting during the game wasn't working. And then it all turned around from there. I'm like, well, I might stick to doing this more often.
Well, like you just said, Justin, you want to see Dylan be confident and make those throws. And then when he did that, when he rolled out, he ducked under the pressure, he rolls out and he fires an absolute seed out to Barney, which even then that 40-mile-an-hour gust slowed it down. Otherwise, I think it hits that outside shoulder that he was probably throwing it to, and or he scored.
The end zone.
But that was a confident throw. That throw he threw to Dane Key against, I think it was Akron, where he threw that absolute bullet into the corner of the end zone, absolutely perfectly placed. We've seen him make the throws, but like you said, that second and third quarter, or for the game, that the entire team needed to be consistent. And I think a lot of that consistency rests on the shoulders of Raiola. And you're right. I can't imagine the pressure cooker he's in when every time half the game in the games that he plays in Memorial Stadium, he's looking up and he sees his dad's name up on the wall.
Yeah.
That's got to put a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Not to mention wanting to have his name up there too. I'm sure be up there with dad. So, which I think he has all the capability to be that guy.
Great.
Just like to see it come to fruition. And I think you're right. You get somebody open, just let it rip. Just rip one out there and let EJ run with it off the edge. Or if you got that slant open, just let it go. I mean, I spent so much time Saturday watching, how bad is this going to get on this particular snap? You know what I mean? I could see it coming, but wow. So since we've kind of got over our overall thoughts, let's just jump into the good, the bad, and the windy. Just pick one thing that you saw on Saturday each, guys, just kind of one spot that you said, yeah, that was really good. I really appreciated the effort there. It could be offense, defense, obviously special teams.
Everybody together, special teams.
Yeah, no, I was about to say just the fact that here's what I will say, and I don't know, this might be a little bit of an overreaction, but like I think that if we had to pick one thing that won the game, I will say special teams won the game.
We lose the game otherwise.
That's
what people
crazy.
need to also
Imagine 1 year ago that, like, think 1 year back. I know it's hard to look back at last year at some point, but 1 year ago, think saying, like, even though we were 4-1 last year at this point, but we all knew special teams was atrocious.
Yep.
Now what did we all say all of last season? We just need special teams to be a net zero. It doesn't have to be a positive. We just need it to be
capable.
Just don't lose us games.
Yeah, don't lose us games.
Yeah,
and
simple.
Now we're not even having. We're talking about
now we're winning this game. They're winning
these games, and that is insanity. What an awesome hire Mike Eckler was. That's my good. Mike Eckler. I'd love to give that man a hug.
I think that is special teams. I think we're all unanimous. That's the good from the game for certain. Was
predicted a fake punt.
Yeah. Did you call the last week?
Yeah.
Except the fake punt and the one punt that didn't travel far enough to even get back to the original line of scrimmage on the 4th and 42. I think we lost 14 yards even after the punt. So it was
a rough one.
Pretty dismal, but I can't imagine he's ever had to punt and win like that before either. So,
but the thing having a punter like Archie Wilson and the way that he punts, the rolling out, giving time for our guys to get set up and head downfield. Yeah, did he make a lot of like distance punts? No, but he made sure that they weren't returnable, They were all kicked out of bounds. I don't know how good that is necessarily, but I mean, it's generated like we have like 240 something punt return yards on our special teams, and we've allowed -1 from our opponents. Like, that's huge. And having Archie Wilson, the way that he punts is just so good for our special teams. And I think Mike Eckler just loves it. I mean, you see him. The dude jumps like 10 feet in the air every single time we do anything. Guys got to love him. Special teams are definitely my good. And then I'll give
it's great
honorable mention of just the grit that they didn't look like they wanted to quit. When you're in 4th and 42, when Raiola throws an interception, you're down 21-14, and you haven't seen the end zone since the beginning of the first quarter, essentially. Like, the grit that they pulled out to make something out of nothing was just incredible. I said, in the moment, I wasn't very appreciative of it, but when the game ended and I could recollect and watch the highlights and be like, damn, that was a good win. Wow. Not a great win, but a good win.
It was a good win. And you know what? If I were to point out a simple, like you just said, Scott, kind of an honorable mention good for me would be the fact that we actually went down the field against a Big Ten school, against a conference opponent. We scored on our first drive. I'll take that. That's not something we do very often this year. It seems like we did it running the football inside the freaking 10-yard line. It was beautiful. So
Oh, that play design was just
Yeah, it was pretty.
That
butter. I still didn't even know what happened. We had to like rewind it because I was like, no, it was Harburg, and it's like, no, it was Raiola it was What was it? It was
Harburg handed it
to Raiola
handed
to
it
Emmett. Like it was like, what?
It was like a 2 quarterback counter to the running back or whatever. I don't know how the hell what they'd even call that play, Coach.
Yeah. No, that well, if they figure out what to call it, let me know, because the team I'm coaching against this Friday is going to run some similar weird stuff. So,
oh goody,
oh goody.
Don't ask Michigan State how to defend it.
All right. So I think
so. What's
if
the bad?
Say what's the bad? I think you could incorporate it with the windy, if you will, and the fact that it's that second and third quarter that the offense.
I'm just gonna stick with the consistency.
Consistency. Yeah.
I felt happy that we won. I don't say I felt really good about that. Like that game it didn't inspire a ton of confidence, if I will say that.
That's kind of where I'm at too, Jeff.
Yeah, but so I'm still gonna say offensive consistency.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if I should include this in the bad, because ultimately we capitalized on it, but I will say, like, was our pass defense really good? I will say yes. Here's what I will say, though, and I don't know where else to put this, but this is just a point I wanted to make during this podcast, is I don't care what anybody else says about Childs. That dude is not a good quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care where he's projected to get drafted. I don't care. That dude's a running back playing quarterback is what I will say. He was ass throwing the ball. So again, that's probably not fair, because I do think our pass defense is good, but that dude's terrible. So I'll say that. And I will say, obviously we ended up winning that game, but I don't know. Michigan State's not a very well coached team, and I hate that we let a team like that was so bad at a lot of different things, making a lot of weird decisions, stick around for so long. I'd say that's a bad thing. Of like, for all the shit that we give Matt Rule sometimes about his game management stuff, is he looks like freaking Nick Saban. I was going to say Bill Belichick, but obviously that's out the freaking window. But you get the point I'm trying to make. You get the point. Like, he made Matt Rule look like a dang game management genius, because Michigan State was not a very well-coached team. So I would just say, hey, I think we should I'm glad with what Matt Rule does now. So
yeah, I would
just letting such a badly coached team stick around for as long. That's probably my bad. Is that game was a game for way too long.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd say that one of the bad things I don't like is that 2 of the 3 touchdowns that Michigan State got were, between the 2 of them, 18 minutes and 45 seconds between the 2 of them. And they were just long. It just seemed like it was never going to end. Like we can't let teams take almost 19 minutes off of the clock and score on them. That's just not conducive with success, especially in the Big Ten. And there's going to be better teams. They're going to be way better at doing that than Michigan State. So I have a feeling we're going to see more of it. But yeah, I mean, 2 touchdowns that Michigan State, in theory, should have never had we just been more efficient on defense and keeping them off the field on 3rd and 4th down. It just
and how crazy is it that the very first touchdown pass we give up in this season is to the backup quarterback? That's how bad Aiden Childs was as he was. It didn't help that Elijah Judy planted his face mask in the turf either, so he had to go out for a couple of plays. But that was kind of disappointing to give up that and the longest pass play of the season. Also, that same backup quarterback.
That backup quarterback curse we get.
I'm not trying to analyze Michigan State, but honestly, my takeaway watching that game live was like, why the hell did they not just keep this backup quarterback in the whole time? Like, if I was from that, like, I just thought he looked a lot better, if I'm being honest with you. Again, I'm not trying to analyze Michigan's. I get, you know what I'm saying, though. That was just one of my takeaways, is like, damn, please put Childs back in the game. Put him in.
Oh, trust. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always Nebraska's thing. The best quarterback in a Nebraska game is always the opposing team's backup. Like,
right.
That's just, it seems like a thing that we have.
All righty, so let's kind of wrap up this on Michigan State and kind of look forward to Maryland by dropping our game ball awards. I put Emmett Johnson because he compiled some stats. 3 of Nebraska's 5 touchdowns he was responsible for, 130 total yards. So I gave the game ball to Emmett, and then a couple of guys agreed on Hunter. I mean, hey, he ran that in with one shoe.
That was pretty sick.
All day, Zaya.
Yeah, I'll say that play alone, just the fact that he did that with one shoe was enough to. I honestly almost did Deshaun Singleton, but I just couldn't get the idea of him running that thing in with one shoe. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought he had a hell of a game leading the team, and I thought that was really good. Scott, I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the shoeless. Like, if there's any highlight from the game that's going to stick, it's going to be the shoeless touchdown score, and then him running 20 plus miles per hour, 21-ish miles per hour to do so.
That's what I saw on Twitter.
Fun fact,
like,
in 2023, Heinrich Harburg hit 22, which got in a game on one of his quarterback runs.
That's
kind of crazy.
It was like Louisiana Tech or something.
Yeah, when he gets up to speed, bro.
But I do got to say, honorable mention, oh man, dude, Barney was awesome this game, as he is every game. That touchdown, punt return touchdown that he should have got if we didn't get that block in the back, definitely would have tipped the scales to give my game ball to Barney.
All day for me.
But just honorable mention. Ja'Cory's going to take one to the house this year at some point. There's no doubt in my mind at this point. I
cannot believe when we're talking again about weird decisions, like, I couldn't believe they kept kicking to him. Like, if I'm some of these teams coming up in the Big Ten, I might be too scared to punt to him anymore. Like,
it's on film now.
In his hand, man.
Yeah.
Yup.
And then you went with Deshaun, Justin. Probably 2 INTs, leading tackler, wasn't he? Him and
he's the leading defensive back on the number 1 pass defense in the country. 2 interceptions. How can you not give that guy the game ball?
Right.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. He's stepping up big time. I
did like John Butler's quote about he caught the 2 easiest interceptions out of ever. I did think that was funny. That wasn't funny. I did think that
is a 100% like that's not like how defensive coaches are like.
100%.
They're gonna rib you even when you do something good. They're gonna
reminded me of my defensive coordinator.
Like, well, that was easy.
They're gonna credit you and then talk trash about
it. Yeah.
100%.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I love it. Yeah, Deshaun was fun to watch. That's for if only that pass would have just been like 3/4 of yards backwards. Then that he would have definitely been in the running with Ja'Cory if that punt return. I mean, there's 14 points right there. If that's just like a half a yard back. That's a lot lateral instead of a pass. And if you don't have yes, hit him in the back, but it was kind of a love tap. It wasn't a real blatant block in the back on Carter. But anyway, it's who we are. Nebraska is the team that's penalized. It's just the way it is. So you have to play well enough to not give the refs an excuse to throw a flag.
Yeah.
Yep.
So commentators were terrible, by the way. Hey, as long as they let him play the whole game, and then the dude touches his hip and he falls at the goal line, pass interference. I think that was a great. And then he's complaining and whining and moaning about every non-touch.
So during the game, a lot of times I mute the commentary just because, like, I don't. Yeah. I tried not to just let it sway me a little bit.
I like to suffer.
I get it, but when I rewatched it, I did keep the commentary on, and I'm like, oh my god, what's his name? Brando?
I think Tim Brando was having a stroke.
Like, what was he drunk? I'm being dead serious. Like, Archie Wilson, the 2-time All Big Ten punter. I'm like, what the hell are we talking about? Like, brother, what is going on?
He's as unslipped off the cracker, and I'm pretty sure it's moldy too. So, and I've been a Tim Brando fan for years.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that Akron game. I'd finally figured out how to stream in my truck, because when Frost's first game, it was Akron. It was Tim Brando doing the game, and he said something to the effect of, I believe that the hire of Scott Frost at Nebraska will be as monumental as the hiring of Nick Saban at Alabama. And I went, oh, this guy
Well,
might be. At first, I was thinking, hey, hell yeah. And then I thought about it and I'm like,
maybe that's why he's mad. Maybe that's why he's pissed off at us. It's like he was wrong.
He was so wrong. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, that's it. Yeah, that would be the windy, that would be the windy part of the conversation.
The bad, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute windbags up there in the Devin Gardner. The dude played for Michigan. How is he cheerleading Michigan State? He has no reason to be cheerleading because he was not nearly as excited about the stuff Nebraska did as he was.
The thing was, Tim Brando was so bad he took off the focus off of that, off of how bad he was. That's how bad Brando was.
You know what it reminded me of when I was rewatching this
and I
game?
expected Brando to be the good one.
Justin, you remember last year when you and me did that Iowa when we watched the Iowa game live together, and we were just, I think it was Colt McCoy, I think it was that just dude. And it was the only game all year last year that I watched with the commentary on when I watched it live. And there's actually a pretty funny
clip. Colorado game too, didn't he? Or were you watching the Colorado game? Is that what you're confusing it with? Because he did the Colorado game. I don't remember McCoy being on the Iowa game.
I don't remember who it was, but I know what you're talking about.
I remember there's a clip of me from that game. I'm just yelling, "Shut up! You don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah,
it reminded me of
that. He was still feeling those Sioux hits 20 years later. So, oh my gosh, Tim Brando, yes, said it was 2-time All Big Ten Punter of the Year.
Yeah,
and then he called
Cincinnati commentators, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah,
I don't remember what he called the running back, Mekhi Frazier. He was calling him something, but it wasn't Frazier. He was mispronouncing the last name Frazier, and he did it multiple times. And I was like I don't even know how he was mispronouncing.
It's not even
that
spelled,
bad.
It's not even spelled different than any other Frazier.
Yeah, it's like
Mekhi's spelled different. It's spelled with an A, but
yeah, I was like, and it was so badly pronounced. I can't even recall what he was calling.
It can't be worse than what's his name? Bo Richter. Porkatcher, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Bo Richter.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, I do. The Tim Brando quote will stick in my mind forever. All day Zaya long. It was like, oh, dog, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
He's got away with words.
Damn, it's been a minute since we've actually dogged on some commentators for
nice. He's a wordsmith.
A little while.
Yeah.
All day Zaya long.
Cincinnati was pretty bad, but all day Zaya. I think I'm going to change my Twitter handle. Oh, man. Okay, so we want to get into Maryland.
Let's do it.
I had a funny exchange today before we get into it. A funny exchange with Larry the Cable Guy came out and was hitting practice balls today.
Damn, you know him?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, good dude. Real good dude.
just casual
nonchalant. He's got his
dude.
phone number and stuff.
What's up, Larry? I was just calling Larry earlier, you know.
I got his number. So
what's up, Cable Man?
But I just didn't call him. I called him by his stage name so everybody would know, but like you don't know his non-stage name. But I was clearing the range and he's hitting balls and he's literally aiming at me. He's trying to hit me and he'd just laugh when I'd turn, when I'd get up toward where he was at. Well, then all the guys were spraying weed killer to try to get rid of all the clover that's out on the range. So he waves me up there as I'm pulling up and I get out of the deal. He goes, "Hey, this stuff smells. Is this stuff okay? Can I breathe this while I'm out here or do I need to go for a while?" I said, "No, dude, I've been breathing this stuff for 3 years that I've worked here and I've got nothing wrong with me except the third eye I got growing out of the back of my head." And he started laughing. He goes, "Well, if you're okay, I think I'll be okay."
That's awesome.
I kept going, but yeah, he was yeah, he's a good dude, man. I sat and talked to golf with him for 20 minutes a couple days ago last week. So yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
he's
cool.
a good man. Good dude. All right. Yeah, let's jump into Maryland. So, keys to victory. I mean, I don't really have any. I feel so bad. I just I just was kind of like, I didn't really want to do a whole lot of prep on Maryland. I know you've done quite a bit, Justin. I have no doubt that you've got some analysis on that team. And like you said, this is a good matchup for us. I was kind of looking at some of the different stats on cfbstats.com, and it is certainly notable to take a look at the scoring defense for Maryland being 13.4 points per game, and they're fourth in the Big Ten, whereas Nebraska, I believe, is fifth in scoring offense. So that's a good matchup there to see what we can do. And then, like you said, their receivers or their passing game is pretty good, and our defensive backfield is just stellar. So it'll be an interesting test. What do you guys think? Where do you look at both of these teams and go, here's what we got to win? What spot do we need to? Because they're leading. Aren't they leading the country in sacks too? So
yeah. So I'd say one of my biggest keys is when we talk about like some of the consistency from last game, it comes to that, but it's also like if things early on don't go well, like not panicking. Because like when you look at it through, like, I'll be honest, I don't have the stat off the top of my head, but I don't think they've given up like points on their first, possessions of these games. They've been really well on the opening possession on defense. So I'd say, like, if our offense doesn't – like, we've been pretty good. At least this last game, we were doing pretty good early in the game on offense. But, like, if our scripted stuff to open the half doesn't go well, just being able to stick to the game plan and continue to, build off of that. Because who knows? Like, Maryland's defense is really good to open up these halves of football. Like, against the other team's scripted stuff, they've been pretty well on defense. So just sticking to the game plan. Don't panic. Don't get super frustrated if, we don't go get points on that first drive or two. Just keep grinding, stick with it. And, I'm sure we'll talk about here in a sec, but I feel like this just has some weird game written all over it. I know we've talked about it, but just like I said, them not giving up points at the beginning of these halves, let's just stick to the game plan and just stay consistent and don't freak out if things go a little bit weird.
I was incorrect. Maryland is number 4 in scoring defense, and Nebraska is also number 4 in scoring offense.
All right.
What a matchup.
So I'll put it this way. I think this is a great matchup for Nebraska. I'm just going to go out and say that Maryland is not a team that has balance. They don't run the ball a lot. They threw the ball 49 times against Washington, and mind you, they jumped out to a 20-0 lead and still threw the ball almost 50 times. Okay. So our team that is, like I said, they're going to try to pass the ball, and we have the top-ranked pass defense in the country right now. When it comes to the teams they've played, not a ton of competition that they played. And against Washington, I believe it was we looked on the show, I think 3.3 or something. It's like 3 under 4 yards or right at 4 yards, something like that per pass in that game. So it was a lot of just dinking and dunking underneath. So I think the biggest thing for Nebraska is going to just be pre-snap confusion. This is a young quarterback. What Washington did well is they made those adjustments at halftime, and Maryland could not figure out offensively how to get back in a rhythm. So what this is going to come down to is whatever team makes the adjustments at halftime. But also, I just think Nebraska has the balance on offense. I think this is the game we finally get to see that a bit more, because I think we're going to utilize the run game to try to mitigate somewhat of their pass rush. They are a young secondary. And so I think if our receivers, I think this is a game our receivers can win their one-on-ones. And I think timing, anticipation throws are going to be very important in this game, keeping the offense moving in a rhythm and keeping Maryland's offense off the field as much as possible so their pass game can't get in a rhythm. But I think we'll do enough on the defensive side of the ball. I think John Butler is going to throw a lot of different looks at their young quarterback and kind of get him thinking a little bit and disrupt his processing and kind of muddy the waters for him a little bit and force him to try to make mistakes. One of the things that Washington didn't do is they didn't force turnovers, but kind of like BA said, what Washington did was they stuck to the game plan and they didn't deviate from it. And they just continued to over time, they made a couple of adjustments, and then they started to execute. And then that consistency, they just kept each drive methodical. Boom. They didn't panic at any point. They just kept driving down the field and scoring, and ultimately they won the game 24-20. So yeah, I think if Nebraska can come in and maybe force 1 or 2 turnovers, I think this is a game they can run away with. I won't give my prediction yet. I'll save that for the end. But I think this is a very good matchup. I think it's a very good matchup for Nebraska.
Well, just to kind of follow up what you're saying there, Justin, looking at the stats, they are number on, let's see here, total defense for rushing yards. Maryland is number 8 in the conference, and in passing yards, they are number 13.
Mm-hmm.
They're middle of the road defense for certain. And for yards per game, they are almost at the bottom of the middle third of the conference. So they're 12th overall on total defense. So yeah, it definitely is a good matchup for our offense. You could see for certain more balanced attack. I mean, they're not great against the run. They're not very good at running the ball. So we shouldn't be too concerned about getting gashed too badly. I mean, we need to prep for it, obviously, make sure we're absolutely prepared. But how about you, Coach or Scott? What are you thinking on keys to victory? I know you've got kind of this little chart here. I'm not sure if that's where you want to incorporate that.
We could throw it up since we're kind of already getting to the end of the show, just because I love the shout out to K Ford ratings. That's the one that I've been trying to find on X for the longest time.
I broke these down last year a lot on my show. I like his stuff. Yeah,
it's just sweet, simple, to the point. I just love it. So those who are watching, obviously you can see this, but those who are listening, I highly recommend if you go into Google and just look up K Ford ratings.
Kelly Ford.
Click on it. Yeah, Kelly Ford. The website is kfordratings.com. Just free plugin, shameless plugin. Just go check out his website. It's really sweet. Keeps you up to date week to week to know like what are Nebraska's percentage chances of winning each game throughout the season as the season goes on. It gives you like an excitement rating, or like I don't know what WS stands for. I can't remember what it said. It was like basically just how exciting the game is, like how big it would be for an upset. Just lots of just short, sweet, to the point type of stats. So yeah, when I am looking at a key to victory for Maryland, I think first and foremost, we need to score more points than they do. I think that's a good start. And then to finish it off, they score less points than we do. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's a good whiteboard material right there. If I were a coach, that's what I'd be telling my guys every week.
Man, I need you to come speak to the Uniontown Eagles this week, man.
I can maybe do that.
To quote, in the spirit of Harry Doyle from Major League, dynamite drop in, Scott, that broadcasting school.
That's a good reference.
Well, man, I'm really thinking if Nebraska scores more points than Maryland does, they're going to be winning a game.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. Let's see. Didn't Ty Robinson?
No, because I like what Justin had to say. On paper and just the matchup is it's a good matchup for Nebraska, but I'm also right there with Coach. We were talking about this. I think it was before the show started. Yeah, it was, because we were talking about score predictions and whatnot. I just have a feeling this is going to be a weird game. It's just going to be a weird one. It's going to be one of those weird Big Ten games where just everything is going right and wrong at the same time, and it just balances out to just a weird game. And it's going to make Husker fans really uneasy, but
that's my worry about this one. I hope that it ends up being more of what Justin says, but it gives me a worry. The thought that came in my head earlier in the week is Purdue last year. Of what the hell was that game last year? I hope that if I had to pick this, I just feel weird about this game. It's just a gut feeling, I guess.
Let me check, Dave. Because that's a good question. Is it going to be windy and rainy?
30% chance of rain. Already looked.
Boy.
Good deal.
You already know.
Yes, sir.
So 30% chance. They're East Coast, so they are way more likely to. No. I think the Midwest is the only part of the country where you have to wait until it's 24 hours before the day before you can actually accurately predict.
I'll tell you, a lot of times we don't even know until walk outside. My phone says it's not raining, and I'm standing in a pouring rain. So
yep.
As a high school coach that's been having to try and plan practices, don't ever trust whatever your phone's telling you. Even if you're standing outside, your phone's going to tell you something different.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird game.
All right, boys. You have anything else?
What the hell?
I was like, where did he go?
Now it's just us.
Yeah.
Going back to the going old school here. Those who are listening to the podcast, we're just having fun. We're just a couple of jokesters.
We're playing
pressing
around with
buttons.
cameras, having fun. All right, we did this last week, Justin. I thought it was kind of a fun little exercise. Bold prediction on something that you think happens in this game coming up on Saturday.
I gotta do something different, man. So I'm gonna say, and it's gotta be bold, bro. I'm gonna say they intercept the ball, we knock it out.
No
and
freaking way. No
recover
way
the
you
fumble.
just stole mine. There's no way you just stole mine. There's
Wow,
no,
what are the odds?
there's
No
no
shot.
way you just did that, Justin.
No
There's
shot,
no-
no shot. That's crazy, actually. I was like, what's the most off the wall thing I
That
can come
is-
up with?
Brother, as soon as Ken
I
told
didn't
me
say an
about this,
insane
right
prediction. I
before
said
the show
bold.
starts, and I'm like, what is some crazy shit I can think of? A double turnover.
Yeah, bro, that's bold. That's bold. My bad.
Well, all right. Well, hey,
That's
there's
both of us.
my bold prediction is there's going to be a
Because
double
if that
turnover
happens,
here.
we both deserve that credit.
But is it
Oh, yeah.
that?
Oh,
is
you
it, is
deserve
it,
it too.
There you
is
go.
it taken?
Yeah.
What if it's an interception, we strip and then score a touchdown?
I almost went that far, but I wasn't willing to. That's crazy. Because can you advance a fumble? I guess you can at that point. Can you
Yeah,
advance a
yeah,
fumble on a double turnover?
Yeah, I
I
think
guess you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen it
Yeah.
before. I've seen the
Yeah.
highlights.
Oh wait, well, no, never mind. Arizona, but they recovered that in the end zone.
That was
did you
weird.
have one, Coach? Did you come up with a different one, or are you guys going with the same?
I,
gotta
I
rock with that
feel
one.
I've spent the last freaking 45 minutes thinking about that one.
There's nothing
so
crazier than that, dude.
I feel like that's going to be my bold prediction as well.
Yeah,
That's actually
gotta
hilarious,
happen.
Justin.
gotta
That's
happen.
awesome.
it's got to happen.
Well, mine is a blocked extra point scoop and
Ooh.
score for 2 points,
Ooh, I
which
like
is gonna play into my score prediction. So
All
Let's go.
right. I like it. Mine is Dylan Raiola has to leave the field for a play because somebody rips his helmet off again, and there's again no freaking flag. And TJ Lateef comes in the game and promptly throws a 15-yard completion and then runs back off the field.
that's
and
very
comes back out.
specific.
That is super specific.
Oddly
Because
specific.
if they throw a flag, that shit don't count. I don't care if Lateef comes in and throws a 15-yard pass or not. They don't throw that
Nope,
flag
don't
with the helmet
count.
coming off. It ain't counting.
Doesn't count to Vegas. Doesn't count to me.
Moonbot's got a good one. I'm thinking
I like
McCullough
it.
gets a fumble return for a TD. I dig it. Yeah, but Moonbot, if you want to go real bold, who forces the fumble?
Color.
McCullough, scoop, a fumble six. from
Hits him with a
McCullough.
clowny, except he
Love
picks
it.
it up and scores with it.
He just scoops it out of his chest as he's falling and just
Is
under the
Jadavian
legs.
Clowney the guy that signed one of the biggest contracts in the NFL because of one damn hit in a bowl game?
Hey, relax. All right. My team drafted him. right,
That's
kid.
true. I forgot. Yeah.
The Texans drafted him. I want to hear it.
That's funny.
Oh, so Judy causes the fumble. You might want to.
Ooh,
Hold it
I
down,
like it.
Judy.
Yeah, that dude was a beast on Saturday. Him and Lenhart both. I thought they broke Hayden Giles. What they did to him. It was a beautiful thing to watch. All right, score predictions. Call me. Oh, come on now.
Huh?
Uh-oh.
Oh man.
Wow. He's
Yeah,
got
we
that
talked
I'm
stoic
so
look
much
on his
trash,
face.
bro.
Ooh,
Oh, damn, he's back.
sorry guys.
Oh man.
Man, that was weird.
Anyways,
Okay, we're in the twilight zone.
Yeah.
There's the score predictions. Call me a pessimist, but going on the road's tough.
Mhm.
I have a feeling this offensive line is going to struggle protecting Dylan. Dylan might struggle a little bit with getting the ball out quick. I hope that he doesn't. And because I know the game against Michigan State, 2 of those sacks they say were on the offensive line, 2 were on Dillon himself, and then one of them was EJ missing a block. So anyway, 2016, I think. What was my bold prediction? I've already forgot because I froze. So
it was
you had a 15-yard. Dylan's helmet gets ripped off.
Yeah.
They don't throw a flag. TJ Lateef comes in, throws a 15-yard completion.
There was a 15-yard pass, and then we're up 17-16 at that point. We get into field goal range. So Cunanan, that 15-yard pass gets us into field goal range. So now I'm getting real oddly specific.
I like it. I like it.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah. Mine is 22-16 Nebraska, and that's how the whole, taking a blocked extra point attempt back for 2 points plays into that. So, yeah, I'm thinking, it's something like 20-10 somewhere in the fourth quarter. Maryland scores, and we do that, and it's just that's it, no hope.
Yeah.
Fires up the defense, seal off a win. And like I said, it's just going to be a weird game. It's just going to be weird. Get ready, Husker Nation.
That's the feeling I have too. Like I said, Justin's about to go last. I hope what Justin's about to tell you is exactly what happens. I'm kind of like you, Scott. I've just had a weird feeling just about this game over the last few days. I feel like we're going to have a weird one this year. It's going to happen at some point this year. I think the first half of that Nebraska-Purdue game last year was the ugliest college football I think I've ever seen in my life. And I don't think it gets quite that ugly, but I do think we have another weird game. And that's where, but I'm predicting, hey, we got the culture to keep doing this thing. I'm predicting 20-14 win. It doesn't matter if it's ugly. I think we'll take a win, and then we'll go from there. And I feel like we might have another one of these weird conversations of like, well, shoot, we won again, and this might be a game that we would have lost in previous years, but how confident are we? And next thing you know, we're at 5-1. That's my prediction is we're going to be sitting here. That thing's going to say 5-1, and the little left-hand side of your screen is going to say 5-1, and we're going to be sitting there like, well, how confident are we? That's my prediction.
I'm going to say, I like the matchup. Again, fighter math here. I like the matchup. I expect our receivers, like I said, to be able to create separation. I expect Dillon to be able to get into a good rhythm. I think we might be pleased at the offensive flow we see in this game throughout. I think Maryland might come out early in that first half, maybe score 14. But I think in the second half, it's slim pickings for them coming across with points. So, I think Nebraska makes the mid-game adjustments, but I just think it's too much. I think Nebraska is just too talented of a team. I don't think Maryland's there yet. I think they've had the benefit of a pretty easy schedule, but a team with no balance is a team that you can easily game plan for. So they're going to have to somehow find some balance in this game, or I think Nebraska is going to be able to pin their ears back and be able to kind of have a pretty good second half defensively. I think they're going to get some good pressure on them. I think they're going to confuse them a lot in the pocket. And I expect Nebraska to kind of run away with this one, 38-17.
I love it.
Love it. Hope you're right.
Me too.
I hope you're right. That'd be sweet. Neat.
Got a couple people in the stream that thrown their predictions out there. We got other Dave says contain the QB run, confused to Frosh, WB, I'm assuming QB with secondary mastery, and win 45-20 with a pick six and a Barney touchdown.
Oh my goodness.
I like the bold prediction, Dave.
I'm with the other Dave. I'm hoping you are correct and I am incorrect. Justin Rogan.
Shout out to the other Dave, though. He predicted the Florida upset over Texas.
Attaboy, Dave.
Collins Show Friday.
We love you, Dave. We do. That was a beautiful game, too. 42-17 Huskers from Justin Rogie.
Pretty sure he picked it.
Yeah. Let's see here. I don't think I see any other.
Moonbot.
Moonbot. Yeah, he did. 35-23 from the old Moonbot. And yes, Dave, we saw you said 45-20. Okay.
And then, Justin 42.
Just had to double down. Make sure we saw it.
Yeah, double down on
We
that.
see you, Dave.
We see you, Dave. We know
appreciate
you're
you.
the other Dave. You're our only other Dave. And we appreciate you.
You're just Dave, because I don't know who the other Dave is.
Yeah,
the other
who
Dave
is,
is actually Weirdly
what I'm
enough, the
saying.
other Dave is actually the other Dave because you're
That's what,
the Dave.
right.
I think he mentioned on our call-in show one time. I think it was somebody. I don't know if it was like the message boards, and somehow it ended up happening. There was a Dave or something like that. The game. I can't remember the exact story, but he told it on our show one time. But
I like.
To wrap things up, guys, I've just got a couple of slides, some funny stuff I found on Twitter and in the last few days, and just throw these out there. There was a HIPAA violation. Michigan State QB Aiden Childs exits the game against Nebraska after landing hard on sack.
Yeah, that'll do
Hey,
it.
that'll do it, boys. I feel like he would have to come out of the game for that one, and that's understandable.
Bo Pelini and Elijah Herbal are like
Money follows on Twitter. So yeah, that's Faux Pelini at Faux Pelini on Twitter.
Brought to you by Trojan Condoms.
That's right.
You ain't having kids after that one. Not having kids after you land on the sack.
All right. So after Michigan State, Huskers week 5 to week 6 changes total offense from number 13 to number 29 in the country, and total defense from number 14 to number 11 in the country. So that's good stuff. Good stuff for sure. And this is on commentary on the Penn State game, which we never really mentioned tonight, but I thought it was funny. James Franklin had Jim Knowles speak to his defense this week about how OSU lost 2 games last year and still won the Natty. The defense huddled up and said, "Let's get that second one out of the way now."
Go.
Love it. All right, that's funny. I can't lie. That's actually hilarious.
At Ice Shark on Twitter, Dan Divjak, I guess is how you say that. But
that's good.
Yeah, those were funny. Those were worth throwing out there. I'm going to try to do that every week. Just throw a little bit of levity after a loss when if we ever have another one. Are we ever having another one?
Oh no, we're never losing again.
Never losing a game. We're all about the optimism here.
Oh, 100%.
Message boards wouldn't let me just be Dave.
That's funny.
I got you, man. I can only imagine there's 85 different Daves on message boards these days. So, I mean, what is a message board anymore, right? I mean, we've all got Facebook and all that stuff. So,
right.
Remember those days?
It's a relic.
Central before it
some
became
some people's entire channel.
Yep. And I will say though, whenever I'm having car troubles, man, the archives of like message boards from like 2004 come in clutch sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I cannot find this problem. If it's not on Reddit, God, I hope it's somewhere on a message board.
Yeah, Reddit's my go-to for everything.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Nope. He who shall not be named, the infamous.
What Justin was throwing down.
Here. Just like here's what I have coaching high school boys. Sometimes they say some stuff. I say this quite often. Well, moving on.
Yeah.
Happens to me about 5 times at high school practice all the time because they say some. I bet you boys know they say some wild stuff. All right, now moving on to the football.
I'm wearing Nike right now, though. I am wearing Nike.
Oh shoot! Yeah. Shout out. Yeah.
So good.
All right.
Still love you. Anyway, follow info. How do we follow you guys out there? Starting with you, Coach.
My Husker Twitter account is temporarily deactivated for the moment, and I shouldn't be laughing during this, but I apologize. If you go to Coach Audi, AUDE, you can follow me on there, and I'll still be talking some football and whatnot. But I needed a break from Husker social media because it makes my brain hurt. So I need a temporary break.
One piece of advice, what I've learned is just. Twitter's not a real place. Just don't take it.
I agree.
Here's what I do whenever anybody is whenever I'm getting frustrated at Twitter is I just put it away. Because for a while, Husker Twitter is very gatekeepy and very everybody will jump on. It's the virtue signal. Everybody's gonna jump on the bandwagon of we're talking good about the team right now. We're talking bad about the team right now, right? Just do you on there, bro. I post what I post, and I don't give a shit when anybody thinks about it. I don't delete my tweets, none of that shit. I don't give a fuck.
No, I hear you.
There's too many people who are I don't know. This just very gatekeepy. Yeah, so it's just it's not a real place. Don't take all that shit seriously.
This is me checking the definitely not for under 18 category on YouTube.
Oh, Yeah, I can't get. Yeah,
You're
it's
okay.
fine. I cuss on my own show and I don't get demonetized, so you're safe.
Not like I'm monetized. It
There's
doesn't
nothing
matter.
I wouldn't say on my show.
And I think according to YouTube, like
You
it's
can
only
cut.
like the first like 7 minutes of whatever it
Which
is
is
that you're
so
doing.
weird. They do have some weird.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah, so like after 7 minutes, you can say whatever you want. They do not care.
yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
Anyway,
I've said some crazy stuff. Some
It's-
crazy.
so yeah,
Going off the rails. I love it.
this has been a wild. What's in the air tonight? This has been an interesting show. We've been all over the place. I love it though. Last week I
Yeah.
was pretty like, duh. I was.
Oh,
brain
that's
dead
where I
last
am
week.
today. That is where I am today. I'm just like I worked out before dinner, ate a big dinner, had a big protein shake, took a hot shower, and I'm like, I'm on autopilot. Literally,
Oh, dude, you want to know what's making my brain hurt right now? Is why does in Kansas high schools, why am I having to get my next year's schedule set up? Why I'm playing my current schedule right now? Can't this shit wait like 6 weeks? Like,
yeah.
why do I have to get this set in stone by next week? This is so stupid. I'm sorry. It's just dumb to me.
Don't cancel that Tennessee game though.
Hey, we're
You gotta
playing.
keep that one on the schedule.
But it's just dumb to, you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand why I'm in the middle of coaching a season. I'm all of a sudden why can't we do this before or direct? Why in this 9 to 10 week stretch? Why does it need to be done? I can't do anything until just
Because it
that's
builds
what's making
character. That's why.
I'm trying to get through this season. All of a sudden, it's like, who are we playing week 4? Let's see who all has openings week 4 next. I don't care. Can I freaking coach football right now? Sorry, that's my little rant for the day. That's what I've been dealing with for the last week. If you can't tell,
Let's get it.
It doesn't have to make sense as long as you're making dollars.
Yep.
There you go. All right, Justin, where do folks follow you? And don't eat your microphone. It's not good. It tastes like crap.
The _, it's my ADHD, bro. I don't know what to do with myself half the time. So I just sit here and I'm like,
I love it.
I just don't know what to do. I'm fidgeting with stuff in my hands all the time so I can focus. So like, yeah, I'm unmedicated right now. I got off my Adderall for a little bit because I felt like
Justin,
it was
you want to know
making
something
me
funny?
anxious. So
We're
I got
talking
off
about
of it.
fiddling with your hands. I'm like having my son's mini football in my hands throughout half the
always-
show, brother.
If I don't swim in my hands, I will not focus on the show.
I'm literally
at
sitting
all.
here spinning it in my hand like half of the show. So
in
just
case y'all wondering what my
behind the
hands are doing
scenes.
on any show, yeah, I'm screwing with this plastic bottle cap right now. So you can follow me over at the _H-Town Husker on X for all the greatest Husker tweets. It's not really that exciting, but you can follow me over there. Sometimes I get into stuff and it's pretty funny, and sometimes I'm just very boring and complaining about the Texans. So follow me over there in Nebraska, let the voice coach football. Most of you already follow me over there, but subscribe over there. Got a call-in show on Friday at 7 p.m. Central. So y'all tune in for that one, and then we'll be live after the game.
Cool. Yeah, you can follow me on X at ScottGenRedPod. That's Scott with 2 T's. The second T will always remain silent.
Cool. And as you know, you can follow this podcast at GenRedPod on Facebook, X, and YouTube. And if you prefer your podcast in audio form, subscribe to Generation Red on Apple, Google, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. Website's genredpod.com. Email is genredpod@gmail.com. Good Lord in heaven, I sure hope that the noise gate has been working on my Roadcaster tonight, because I have got the protein shake gas like you would not believe. So
No one
you heard a
would
few
have known.
flying over in the room.
You
That
almost made it. You almost made it, because we would have not ever.
It's been perfect. It's
Yeah.
been perfect. I would have just told you on the show, hey, Dad, why are you pooping your pants on the show? It's not appropriate.
Yeah,
There'd be no poop pantsing.
Oh man.
we are certainly off the rails tonight, guys. And
Wow.
Brother, this show, the last 10 minutes have been off the rails, and I love
Or are we back on the rails?
it. Hey,
or are we just who we are, and it's okay?
I like
mean-
that perspective.
The chemistry here is just
What are rails?
no doubt about
Anyway.
it. And I
Who
appreciate
put them there?
your time tonight. I appreciate all your hard work on the show, especially since I don't do any. And until next time, guys, for Scott, myself, Coach, and Justin, we're all Generation Red. We love talking Husker football, and we're here to talk it every single week because we believe that there is no doubt Nebraska will return to the top of the college football heap. And we're going to tell you all about it one podcast at a time because there's no place like Nebraska.
Oh, sorry. I thought I saw Wilson Dittman comment on our post, and I was very.
It caught me. It gave me a second.
It completely threw me off. Anyway, Iowa's corn sucks.
In rule, we trust.
Oh,
Bingo.
God, that's perfect synergy. Go Big Red, folks. We'll see you next week.
Oh my God.
That's Big Dick. I mean,
before it ended.
Big Dilly Will trick, not Big Dick.
It completely threw me off.
That's my.
Hey, boys.
By the
Respectfully,
way, I didn't end the stream. In case you haven't noticed, I just played the outro video.
No, that's
are we still live?
Oh, we're still live.
Dilly